I'm going to show you how to get the Zonai Armor in the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So this armor set, what it does is it makes it so that your batteries last twice as long when you use them. Now, I made a really long, in-depth guide for this, but this one's like the TLDR version, where there's lots of just like, okay, just use these smart ways to do it faster. So in order to get the first piece, the Shin guards, you can go to the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower right here on the map. Normally, you can just fly over to this platform and build a little flyer, fly it over to here, and at the end, jump off and glide before it blows up. But another faster way instead is you can go up here from there and use the flyer to get to the Natak Shrine. And then you can use the Zonai dispensers like this one to get a steering stick. And then you can get fans from a lot of different ones like that one. Or maybe even this one down here. You know, just get 2 fans and a steering stick. Get auto build, by the way. You can do that by dropping in the hole right here on the map. And then going over here to the Great Abandoned Central Mine. Doing a quest there, you get auto build. And then you can do auto build. And then you're just going to make one device, and it's going to make all this really easy. So what you got to do is you go to your devices, and you're going to use 2 fans and a steering stick, and we can make a hover bike. So we're just going to take this and point it down, set it right there. We're going to get this out of the way. We're going to take this, tilt it back at a 45, and then try to line this up as straight as possible. And then we're going to take this one and set it flat. And then we're going to take this and try to set it to the connect it to the top part of this. So try to get it as balanced as possible, or else it'll swerve. Like right there, I got that wrong. It'll swerve left now, so we got to try that again. So take that, and then like that maybe. It's still going to swerve, but whatever. I don't really care. And then what we're going to do is now we can go to auto build, and we can favorite it. Now, I already have favorited it. And once you have it favorited, you can just go ahead and build it whenever you want. If you don't lay the parts out, it'll cost 9 zonaite instead. So go ahead and just build it. Once you have a hover bike, you can just fly from here at the Natak Shrine over here. And you can fly over to the Sky Mine over this way using this hover bike. And that's going to be the easiest way to do it. And you'll really want to do that because it'll make getting all the other pieces 10,000 times easier. But if you want to do it the old school way, you just go to that platform I'm looking at down there, make a flyer, and then fly over to the Sky Mines over here on the map. We'll want to go to the top island of the 3. But if you end up on this one down here, you can activate this shrine. And then you can go over to this thing and line it up with that 3rd island as best as you can. Just kind of eyeball it. Maybe like, I think like that already lined up a little bit. We move it a little bit more to the left. And then after you line this thing up, you just jump on it. And it'll launch you up there. But if you're using the hover bike like I showed you, you can just fly up to the 3rd one instead of doing this. But this will get you up to the 3rd one like this. And now once you are up here, we'll have another one. And I've already solved this puzzle, but it's pretty straightforward. It's like the TLDR version of this anyway. So what you'll do is you'll line this up with the sphere. The sphere will not be rotating, and this will not be in this position, but you'll just rotate it to try to line it up. The hole in the sphere will be at the top, and you get this lined up as best as you can. You save your game before doing this part. And then you take these blocks, you wait for that thing to go off, and then you set the blocks down on it like that, and let it launch them across like that. And you just keep trying that until you get it lined up just right, and that'll fall into a hole on the top, which is not there anymore because I've already solved the puzzle. And once you get the block into the hole, you'll fly over to it by doing the same thing as the block. You'll just get on the platform, fly it over there. You'll land in there with the block. You'll find where the block went. You'll hold it over top of this switch. Don't put it on, just hold it over. Wait about 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and then take it off, set it down. Then you're going to climb up this pillar, and then you're going to jump over, glide over to the hole, climb up, jump up, get onto the edge, and then you're going to look down at that block, and you're going to use recall on it. And then right when it's over top of the switch, you'll cancel the recall. It'll make it hit the switch, and then it'll bring this down so you can get down to the lower half. And then once it's down like this, you can grab the chest. And inside of this chest is the Zonaite Shin guards. So that's the first of the 3 pieces, and that's like the TLDR version of how to get it. For the next one, we're just going to do it again with the hover bike, but I'll briefly explain how to do it without it. So we're going to go to the Rebella Wetland Skyview Tower. If you've never been here before, you can grab these wooden boards. There's 2 over there, and there's 2 over there. Put 3 of them together end to end, line them up across this, and then shoot a fire arrow at the roots blocking this. And then you'll be able to get in. You have to put the boards over to stop the rain from putting the fire out. Then you'll fly up to here, and from here there'll be a cluster of islands over here to your east. And normally what you would do is you would go to this one on the left that I'm looking at right now. There's a platform on the back of it. You can put fans on it and then fly up with it until it disappears, and then glide over to the island we need to go to. But we're going to do it in this version. We're just going to go ahead and just fly there with the hover bike. So like I said, there's the platform we normally do. So you just put a fan on it up, and then add a second fan to make it go up. But in this version, we're just going to go ahead and use the hover bike instead. And we're going to be going to an island to our north over there. Now, if you don't have enough Zonai charge, you can instead just use the large, here we go. The large Zonai charges, they restore your battery completely and temporarily give you infinite battery. So if you don't have enough battery, you can just use those if you need to get over here. And you can find those from Flux Construct 3s, and you can find a Flux Construct 3 right next to where we were on this platform. And you can glide over to this one and find one over there. If you need stamina for food for some reason, you can always find it right here on this river. There's crabs here you can grab and convert them into stamina food by cooking 2 together at a time. But just go ahead and use a hover bike to get over here, or do it the other way I just described, by putting fans on the block and then gliding over. Whether you decide to get here with the hover bike or with the fans, either way you'll want to come in right through here on the right. And you'll see this shrine over here on the left, or right around the corner right here. And you'll just want to land right here or get over here, whichever way, depending on which way you came here. And you'll want to activate it like this if you're doing this the normal way. And even if you're doing it with the hover bike, it's actually going to be faster than the hover bike to do it with the actual shrine like this. Afterwards, you can go to the right and climb up this cliff. Now all these will be activated. Wait for your stamina to fully restore, and then jump over and glide over these and use them one by one in order to get to the top of this island. Once you're at the top of the island, it's definitely a good idea to save. You may want to save before even doing the climb we just did. And then you'll find this hole at the top of the island. You'll just want to jump down into the hole, and you'll want to glide and then dive. And when you dive like this, you'll go slow, and you can just tap dive a little bit at a time in order to go down slowly and carefully like this. Or you can go crazy and try to just go down super fast. It's up to you really, but you just need to get through all those and then land in the water, not on the edge like that, or you'll die. Once you're inside, you'll immediately notice this shrine down on the ground. Just go ahead and activate it so you have a fast travel here. Then go over right behind it. There'll be this thing. There's a secret passage up here. So you go up here, get up here, and then use ascend. It'll take you up into a secret room. Inside here will be another chest that I already took, though. And that one will have another piece of the Zonai Armor. For the last piece, we're going to go to the Rossboro Pass Skyview Tower up here on the map. We're going to launch up into the air and land on these platforms up here. On your way over, you'll notice this island. It's this one right here on the map. Exact one. And you'll notice that there is one of these platforms with a hot air balloon on it. You'll go over, you'll hit the hot air balloon. And then once the hot air balloon's gone or almost gone, you'll want to add your own Zonai device, which is going to be a wing. And you're going to want to point it to where it will make you go to the south. So look at the mini-map on the bottom right. And you'll want it to make you go south, but you'll also want it to go down at an angle to bring you up and in that direction. So just put it on at some point and activate it. This is the normal way to get there. But another way you can do it that I'm going to do that's way faster is if you want to use the Zonai device or Zonai batteries and fly there, then just go ahead and spawn in the hover bike that you've made before earlier in this video. Put it in a way where it'll wedge and not go flying off, because it'll do that when built. And then whenever this thing's done going up or whatever point you want to, you just hop on this hover bike instead. And then you're just going to fly over there manually. And from here, we're going to go really far. We're going to go all the way to this middle island right here. It's a really long distance, so you may want to use the block depending on how much battery you have and how many large Zonai charges you have. Regardless of which way you attempt to get here, once you get here, you have choices. If you have plenty of battery and lots of large Zonai charges, then you'll just keep taking the hover bike. If not, you're going to take one of these wings and you're going to set it on the track. There's a bunch of parts over here. You can stick 2 fans on the back, and then you can also put rockets on it in order to get it off the ground. You can put this one on like this, put this one on something like that, and then you can take these 2 rockets. I'm going to attach them to each other for a second. We're going to take these 2 rockets, shake them off, put one on the tip facing forward, put one on the other tip facing forward, and then you can get on and you can hit this and it'll fly off in that direction. And you're going to want to fly towards those islands and land on one of them. But in my case, I have lots of battery, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the hover bike instead. Again, if you have large Zonai charges, then you can take the hover bike instead. Once you get this far, there'll be the low gravity zone. You can land on this lowest one, and you put these 2 springs together right there on top of each other. Then get on them and launch yourself up, and then you'll be able to get up to this next island up here. But on your way into that island, you'll notice this floating block. You'll want to land on it instead of this island. And this floating block has 2 rockets. You can use the rockets one at a time. Don't use them both at the same time. And that'll get you high enough to get to that island over there. Or if you just want to use a flying device like the hover bike that I'm using, you can just use that instead and just fly up. It's whichever way you want to do it. Once you get up here, you'll see that the stone block on the left side. You can use it to activate the puzzle. That'll drain the water here if you activate that. and that'll let you go into this cave. Inside of here, you'll be able to use bomb flowers or just beat your way through the blunt weapon like a rock hammer or something. And then you'll be able to get inside of here. And inside of here, there's a puzzle with these lights. And all you got to do is use Ultra Hand on them and then rotate them the way you need to go, like this, to the left. And then you'll be able to try to find the other ones like that. And you'll work your way around. If you have any issues seeing, you can always just shoot a bunch of bright root seeds, bright bloom seeds everywhere like that in order to make it easier to see. After you do the last one, it'll take you over to this room. You'll go in here and you can kill this enemy right here. You'll drop a mirror shield, and that is what you can use to reflect the light into this hole right here, which I've already done. But if you haven't done it yet, he drops this shield. You take the shield, you do the same thing as before like this, and you hold it up so it shines the light on that. After a second or two of doing it, it'll make all the walls come down here. And then you can go over here, climb up this, jump up to here, and there'll be a chest right here that I already grabbed, and it'll have the third Zonai armor piece for you. After that, you're all done. You have all 3 pieces of the Zonaite armor set. There's the shin guards, the waist guard, and the helm. If you have all 3, it'll reduce your battery usage by 50%, so your battery will last twice as long. And if you level up to level 2 as all the pieces to level 2 at Great Fairies, then it'll also make you recharge your battery twice as fast. If you level up to the max level on all pieces, it'll have a total armor of 84, which is very nice. In order to do that, one of the biggest kinks you run into is soldier horns, soldier captain horns, and you can find them inside of some shrines and places. It's the ones where they have the really long necks, like glowing green necks. Inside of this shrine is some, and you can find other shrines with them. Just go look around, try to find those if you have any issues with that, or use the duplication glitch and duplicate the ones that you have. It's really up to you. But either way, guys, this was the really quick, fast version of how to do this. If you want the longer version, it's somewhere in the description, maybe somewhere on this YouTube. But hopefully, I helped you out, guys. Now you know how to get the Zonaite armor set for the reduced battery usage in Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.